Good morning, student. In previous lecture, we were discuss about the new chapter, that is fundamental of cellular system. We were also discuss about the cellular concept and the basic cellular system. Today we will discuss about the cell. First of all, we have to know about the cell. Cell is nothing but the basic geographic unit of the cellular communication system. It is called as the cell, means which is the basic geographic unit of the cellular communication is called as a cell. Basic geographic unit. Its shape is hexagonal. As we studied in earlier lecture, the shape of the cell is nothing but the hexagonal shape. The size of the cell is not fixed. We can say the shape is hexagonal, but the size of your cell is not fixed. Practically, the shape of the cell may not be perfect hexagon. We can say the shape is hexagon, but no, it is not in perfect shape. Then size is not fixed. It can be depend upon the area. The hexagonal shape has been adapted universally because it allows easy and manageable analysis of the cellular system. The second important point is nothing but it is in hexagonal shape. Like this. This is the hexagonal shape, but not in perfect hexagon shape. Second important topic is cluster. Cluster is nothing but the group of cell. Group of cell is called as the cluster. A simple cell, if there is a one cell, we can say it as a cell. But if there is a more than one cell, we call it as a cluster. If there is two cell, then it is also a cluster. More than one cell or group of cell is known as the cluster. We can see the diagram of the cluster. This is your first cell, then this is your second cell, third cell, likewise, and every cell has his own MTS at the center of the cell. These are the basic concept that of the cellular system. First is nothing but the MTSO, means mobile telephone switching office. Second is nothing but the cell, and third is the cluster. These are all associated with the cellular concept or the basic cellular system. After that, we will discuss about the structure of the cellular phone system. Structure of cellular phone system. There is a structure of every system like that. There is a structure for the cellular phone system. In the communication system discussed so far, the transmitter and the receiver both were stationary in landline. Okay, when there is a communication through the landline system, at that time the transmitter and receiver both are the stationary. But in cellular system, we will discuss about the movable user or the movable communication media. In the mobile communication, which we are going to discuss now, either the transmitter or the receiver or both are ongoing or the movable. This is the main concept for the cellular system. We are discussing the cellular system for the movable users or movable subscriber. In mobile communication, one can be a movable or both can be a movable. Okay, there is a one basic structure of the mobile telephone network, in which first is your PSTN. PSTN means what? Public switch telephone network. This is the long form of the PSTN. PSTN means public switch telephone network. After that, there is a second block, switch center or the MTSO. What? MTSO means switching center. Mobile telephone switching office means what? The MTSO. And there are many cells like that. These are the different type of the cells having the MTSO. These are the hexagonal shape. In your cell there is a base station and MTSO, both are present, base stations of the cell. At the input side we will connect here what? The telephone, landline telephone. This is the basic structure of mobile telephone network. As the point between which the communication takes place are movable, the communication channel has to be air. That means it is a wireless communication. Okay, the telephone system or the landline system is nothing but the wired communication, but mobile communication is nothing but the wireless or cordless communication, in which the transmitter or the receiver or the both are ongoing or the movable. The structure of the mobile phone network along with the public switch telephone network is as shown in figure. Okay, what the structure of the mobile phone network along with the PSTN or the public switch telephone network are given here. The mobile telephone system has hexagonal shape. This is the hexagonal shape. Each cell has the base station suitable at the center. Each cell, that is cell A, B, C, each cell have the base station at the center or the MTSO at the center. The base station of all the cells are connected to the switch center. The base station are all connected to the switch center, that is the MTSO means mobile telephone switching office, for connecting call or other operation. Observe that this interface is bidirectional. This interface, the interface between the PSTN and MTSO is bidirectional. That's why we are showing arrow at the both side. And the interface is the bidirectional one. That means the exchange of information between the switch center and the base station is a two-way. There is a bidirectional connection between the switch center and the base station. That's why we can say the interfacing is the bidirectional, or interfacing is two-way. The communication area of the mobile communication is divided into hexagonal shell. Therefore, the system is named as the cellular radio. Here is the hexagonal shape of the communication area. That's why we can name the system as the cellular radio system. Okay, the switching center act as the interface between the public switch telephone network means the PSTN. The switching center act as a interface between the PSTN. In addition to that, it performs the supervision and control operation. It will perform the supervision and control operation. As we studied in earlier lecture, the MTSO is used to control all the calls or control all the calls happen, making or incoming call are controlled by the your MTSO or computer of the MTSO. That same operation is performed here by the MTSO and PSTN. It will supervise or control the operation of the mobile communication system here. Due to this kind of system layout, the communication can be takes place between two mobile subscriber or between a mobile subscriber and landline telephone as well. Because of two-way communication and because of that cellular system, due to this kind of system, the communication will take place between the two mobile subscriber. Means if transmitter is mobile means what? The movable. If you are traveling at that time, the transmitter or the receiver are traveling, that time we can say the communication will happen at that time if the transmitter and receiver both at the time are the movable or they are stationary. That's why we can say in addition to that, it perform the supervision and control operation in the mobile communication system. Due to this layout, the communication can take place between two mobile subscriber or between a mobile subscriber and a landline telephone as well. If a mobile subscriber travel from one cell area to the other cell, for example, if there is a one user is present in B cell, that is A, B and C cell. If the subscriber is present in B cell and he is traveling from A to B, at that time what we can say, if the subscriber travel from one area to other area, then automatically get connected to the base station. If the user is travel from the B cell to the A cell, he came here in A cell, at that time he will adopt or he will automatically get connected to the base station of the A cell. Thus the service provided to a mobile subscriber is continuous without any break. Here is the service providers to the mobile subscriber is continuous without any break in the communication or without any break. Function, after that we have to study about the function of the MTSO. Here the function of your MTSO is nothing but the MTSO control all the cells and provide the interface between each cell and the main telephone office. MTSO will provide the interface between the each cell A, B, C. The MTSO will provide the interfacing between every cell and the main telephone office. After that, the mobile user from one cell to the next cell, the system automatically switch from one to another. Like we studied in earlier, that if your user is traveling from the B cell to A cell, at that time when he is present in the B cell, he will use the base station of the B cell or he will control by the MTSO present in B cell, and once he travel from B to A cell, at that time he will automatically get connected to the base station of the B cell without any break. Likewise, the function of the MTSO is same. The mobile user from the one cell to the next cell, the system will automatically switch, means he will switch the base station of B to base station of the A without any break. The computer at MTSO causes a transmission from the mobile user to be switched from the weaker cell to the stronger cell within a very short time. After that, there are some advantages and disadvantages of the MTSO. First advantage of the MTSO is nothing but it operates at a much higher frequency. There are some advantages. First advantage is it operates at much higher frequency. Operate at high frequency. So more spectrum space is available, and so more number of the channels can be accommodated. What is the advantage of the operating at the high frequency? The more spectrum space is available. Second advantage is due to the MTSO, the cellular system can use the concept of the frequency reuse. Second advantage is what? The cellular system can use the concept of, it can use concept of the frequency reuse. This will allow the cell to use the same frequency without the fear of the interface. Second important advantage is it can use concept of the frequency reuse without fear of the interference. Third advantage is the cell of the different size can be accommodated in the system. We can use the cell of the different size. We can use cell of different size. This is the third advantage. This is nothing but the structure of the cellular phone system and the function of the MTSO, and we will also study about the advantages of the MTSO. There are some conditions controlled by the MTSO. Let us discuss the important conditions, things controlled by the MTSO. Condition controlled by the MTSO. This is the new topic. First condition is control the transmitter output power. First is control transmitter output power. This is the first condition to control, which is controlled by the MTSO. The transmitter output power is not constant, but it is controllable by the cell site and the MTSO. And transmitter output power is not constant because sometime it is handheld and sometime it is mounted on the vehicle. That's why the output power is not constant, but it is controllable by the cell site and the MTSO. The special control signal picked up by the receiver are sent to an automatic power control circuit, that is nothing but the APC. The APC circuit then set the transmitter output power to one of the 8 power output level. That is the first condition to which is controlled by the MTSO. Second is a monitoring of the received signal strength. Monitoring received signal strength. This is the second condition. The MTSO monitor the strength of the received signal by checking the RSSI. We will studied in earlier lecture about the RSSI in cellular receiver, that the strength of the received signal is measured by, or it will check by the RSSI signal, and based on this signal the MTSO make a decision about the switching to the another cell. If the strength of the received signal is weak, then it is switched to the another cell. If it is strong, then it will stay at that cell. Third is nothing but the frequency division ratio. Third is the frequency division ratio. The MTSO logic section send the number of corresponding of frequency division ratio. What the MTSO logic section send the number of corresponding frequency division ratios. These number are loaded into the frequency divider block of the frequency synthesizer. We studied about the frequency synthesizer. There is a frequency divider block. Okay, after that this set the transmit and receive channel frequency. There are two frequencies for transmit and receive. For transmitter there is 825 to 845 megahertz frequency range, and for receiver there is 870 to 890 megahertz frequency range. These will set by the frequency synthesizer or by the MTSO. With increase in the number of user or increase in the demand of the service, the number of base station can be increased. If in your area or if in your cell there is a increase the number of user or increase in the demand of the service, at that time the number of base station can be increased to control all that user or to give the best service to the more user. The transmitter power for each base station is reduced in order to reduce the interference. If there is a demand, increasing the demand of the receiver, or there is increasing the number of user, at that time the transmitter power for each base station is reduced to reduce the interference. Thus we can increase the radio capacity without any additional radio spectrum. This fundamental concept is used for all the modern wireless system. These are the three conditions controlled by the MTSO. These are the important conditions. First is to control the transmitter output power. If the transmitter output power is controlled, then we can get the necessary or required signal at the receiving side. That's why the second condition is monitoring the received signal strength. After the controlling the transmitter output power, we have to monitor or we have to check the received signal strength, and this will check by the RSSI, means received signal strength indicator. By using RSSI we can check the strength of the received signal generated by the receiver. After that the third is a frequency division ratio. We know that the numbers are loaded into the frequency divider block of the frequency synthesizer. Okay, the MTSO logic section send the number of corresponding frequency to the frequency synthesizer, and by analyzing the frequency range we can check whether it is transmitter frequency or the receiving channel frequencies. These are the simple 3 steps which are controlled by the MTSOs.